Hi everyone, it's Kathy Maxon. I just wanted to pop on here while I was editing the video. I noticed I made 3, 4, maybe even 5 changes on you guys during the video, from the wreath form size to the petal fold to the petal placement. So I just wanted to pop on here and apologize, but this is the beautiful wreath that we made. So I hope you stick with the video and watch it till the end. I do appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Hi everyone, it's Kathy Maxon. Today we're going to be doing a fall flower. We are going to be using a petal that we've done in the past, the Dean Michael petal fold. We are going to be using, though, 21-inch mesh instead of the 10-inch. We're going to be using this cream, brown, and orange. It's like a poly burlap, it's plasticky, and then this orange has some tan, I don't know if you can see it, some tan in it as well. So that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using some brown felt. We're going to make the center with the felt today. We're going to be using an 8-inch wreath form. So some of the tools we're going to need, we are going to be needing, I'm going to get my, we're going to be using our mat board. We are going to be using a glass cutting board, because we are going to be using today to cut the mesh, we're going to be using a wood burning tool. So I got the chisel, I think it's called the chisel tip. I got that plugged in, so hopefully that's almost warm. We're going to be using a rotary cutter for the felts, and we're going to need some scissors. We're going to need some zip ties, because we are going to put the plastic canvas in the center of our wreath form. So I had a spare piece around, so I already drew it, so we would just cut that out, and we're going to use the zip ties to attach that. But let's show you how to cut the mesh. So the flower fold, like I said, we're going to be doing the Dean Michael petal fold. And why I'm doing the 8-inch wreath form, because these rolls are only 5 yards. So I'm hoping I'm going to have enough. So to make it, you need to make it like a square. So this mesh is 21 inches long, and we're going to be needing to cut it 21 inches wide, because we want a square. So I'll move my mat board over. Let's see, so you can see where I'm at with my 21 inches. I think my camera's crooked. So I want the smooth side up on my cutting board. And what I'm going to do first, since I do have it, it looks like it is snagging a little, I'm going to trim up this edge. So basically we're just going to take our wood burning tool, and we're going to go between these long vertical lines. We're just going to should kind of melt the plastic. So try to keep it all in the same row going down vertically. I try to go slow, so maybe it'll cut it better. Set that aside because I need to move this up. Oh, what I also have is a potato masher. I saw this, I don't know how long ago I saw that, but it helps hold your wood burning tool. So I thought that was a good idea. So that is what I use now. Because there are times where you just need to set down your wood burning tool. So you're going to take your time going through. We're going to go vertically. Let me get this cleaned up. And then we'll cut our first piece. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this, because I'm kind of thinking maybe even both of these are a little thick, a little bit thicker, that the petal fold that we're going to use might be too thick if I keep it together. So I'm going to move my cutting board over to the 21, because remember this is 21-inch mesh. So wherever your vertical lines are near the 21, as close to the 21 as you can, I'm going to start going down. So once I know which row I have, I don't really need to keep it straight on the cutting board. I'm just going to go vertically. That's why you have your glass cutting board underneath there, so you don't, because otherwise you're going to melt your mat. So I'm going to go through, cut all my pieces, 21. I'm going to cut my orange as well, because that is also 21 inches. But you see how big this is, the petal's going to be? It's going to be big. I'll be back. Okay, I cut all my pieces 21 inches wide, so now they're 21 by 21. But now I'm going to cut them in half at a diagonal, because I think my mesh is going to be too thick when I try to put it together. So you take your 21 by 21 piece. I kind of have the corners trying to flatten out, because this was my last piece that I had. So the closer you get to the bottom of the roll, the curlier it gets. I have my other pieces laying flat. I have something over top of them. So what I'm going to do is go get the corner up there, and I have the ruler over here to the corner. But my cutting board, or my cutting mat only, or my glass cutting board only comes to here. So as I'm cutting, I'm going to have to move my glass board down. So I just have a yardstick, and I'm just using that as a guide. And this, you're not going to be able to go into any so I'm just going to use it, and it's stuck there. And this stuff, it does fray even after you use the wood burning tool. I don't know if you can see, my thing's smoking. Of course, I have a wood yardstick, so maybe it's getting caught on that. So I'm going to slide my board, my cutting board down, and I'm going to slide my mat up, or my mesh up. So I'm just going to get my ruler again, get to the corner and where I left off up here, and I'm just going to keep going down. If you want, you could probably rotary cutter this end, because this end is going to be what we attach to. But I just kind of wanted to stop as much fraying as possible. So that was why I was using the wood burning tool. It's just very time consuming. So there's my piece cut in half diagonally. So now I have two triangles, and that's what we're going to use to make our petal. So you cut it 21 by 21, or however long your mesh is. You cut it into a square, and then because this is thick, I am cutting it in half diagonally. So I'm going to keep going, and when I get done, I will be back. Okay, I did decide after I started cutting those petal pieces, I am going to upgrade to a 10-inch wreath frame. So I already drew my circle on my plastic canvas. So we're going to attach that. So basically, I think the only thing we're really going to be attaching is our center to the canvas. I could be wrong. We could be doing the inside petals. But again, so just, take your plastic canvas, that's what it's called. You can get that at Hobby Lobby or any craft store. And then we're just going to take our 4-inch zip ties and we're going to zip it to this bottom inside row of this wreath form. Okay, let's do the fold. I've changed my mind yet again. Because when I started videoing and doing the fold, it was like, oh, this petal's going to be ginormous. The petal's still going to be big, but this will give it a little more stiffness or a little more sturdiness. So we're going to take our triangle piece. I'm going to take the end that is the finished side, and I'm going to basically fold the triangle in half again. So we're going to make another little triangle, because I want my finished edge to be on the top. So I'm going to line it up as best I can with my finished edge, because I didn't want the frayed edge to be on the top. So basically, I'm just going to fold it in half. So this would be kind of like a half Dean Michael petal. So, but we're going to fold the triangle in half. I want my finished side on the top. And basically, I'm going to hold my left hand, I'm going to hold this down, and I'm just going to, with my right hand, I'm just going to gather up the end. And then I'm going to kind of tuck that under over here, because it kind of flips up. So we can just tuck that under. You can tuck that frayed end underneath. If you don't like it, let some of the back go. But anyways, so we're going to kind of have like this half petal. And then what we are going to do on our wreath form, so I'm going to call the inside row 1, then row 2, row 3, and then we'll call the outside row 4. So I am going to go on this bar right here, the crossbar. I'm going to put it around bar, I'm going to kind of attach it around bar 3. So actually, I have my longer 10-inch zip ties instead of my 4-inch, just to make it easier on me. The 5 yards did only cut 8 pieces, so you just kind of have to, and cutting these in half, then that gives us 16. So I think what I'm going to do is just put around 3 per section, so that I will only need 15, but I'll probably squeeze the last one in, because what am I going to use with a half piece or a petal? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to kind of trim this edge off a little, because I don't want it so bulky. So I'm going to do that. So we're on bar 3 and we zip tied. Let's do the petal fold again. So I want my finished side on the top. So my finished side right now is on the bottom of my triangle. So when I'm gonna make it, the triangle, into another triangle, I wanted my finished side on top. So we have a triangle, and then we're making a smaller triangle. So my left hand is going to hold the top of the petal, and my right hand is going to just scrunch up, and I'm going to kind of flip that stuff down there, and then you can form your petal. And again, if you don't like how it's, I usually just let some of that go down there, and then my petal will be all ready. So then what we're going to do here is we'll lay this on. So what we're going to do is put 1 on each crossbar, and then I'm going to put 2 in the center of each section. My zip tie ready there, maybe not. So what you want to do is make sure, you know, your petals you know, are even, you know, at the end here. So as you go around, it's going to be even. You don't want it to, you know, have one or two sticking out further than the other. We're going to cut that zip tie. And then I'm going to trim off this bottom. You can use scissors. I don't know where I got these cutters. I think my niece gave them to me for Christmas one year. I don't even know if they have a brand on them. No brand on them. But I like them. I like them for cutting the bulkier stuff. I didn't want to really use my good scissors on that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do one and then two, one at the crossbar and one inside each one, and then I will come back and we will see how that looks, and then we'll put our inside petals on. Okay, I'm down to my last piece. So some changes I made. Instead of going on bar 3, so we counted from the inside was 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of going on bar 3, I moved them into bar 2, the second one from the inside, because this thing is huge. It was over 36 inches, so by moving it down to bar 2, I think it makes it about 36 inches. So this is a very big wreath. So let's finish off this last orange. So here's my petal. And I kind of, now that I, you know, redid it, I laid all my finished edges on top. So when we get this one in, and if you want, I mean, if you want to make it and you don't want it so big, you can just, you know, don't make the petals so large. So we'll tuck that one under. So then that is all of the orange. And then also what I did, instead of being on the bracket, I did like, because I had that one extra piece, I left one on the bracket, and then all the others I just put on the inside in the sections so I could squeeze that extra piece in, and you wouldn't be able to tell. So then you could kind of move them around and, you know, space out your petals, you know, how they are. But this is what it looks like. Like I said, it's huge. Here is my ruler. So my ruler, so we got it at about 36 inches. So let's do the petal one more time. We're going to move on to this plaid, the orange plaid, orange, black, and cream plaid. So remember, we cut our piece 21 by 21, and then I cut those pieces in half. So then we had a triangle. So I have a finished edge down here, so I'm going to put my finished edge, because I want my finished edge to be on the top of the petal. So basically we're just going to fold the triangle in half, and I'm going to hold it with my left hand and just scrunch up here with my right. And you can, what you want to do, if you want to tuck that kind of in a little, because I want to form it, I want the, you know, the petal, the part of the petal underneath, I want it to stay underneath that finished edge. So let's bring the wreath back. And so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to put these zip ties right below these. And I'm going to go in like 2 holes. And if you want, because I think our middle is going to be very bulky, we can, you know, trim up. I don't want to trim up too much. But if you want, you could almost trim before you put your petal in. But that's what we're going to do. So then, like the next one, So where, like, so say where this curve comes down, I'm going to put that next zip tie. So again, I'm going to like do 2 or 3 holes. Maybe if I can see where my zip tie end is. Where is it? Oh, it's way up there. I have some petals already made, but you see how bulky this is going to get? We may not need as many of this one. And these ones you're not going to really be able to move around a lot because these ones are on the bar and you can slide. So you're going to want to make sure you get your petals where you want them. Otherwise you're going to be changing them and cutting them out. But that's what we have, so I'm going to continue on the center, and I will let you know how many I use. I don't know about you, but this is the biggest wreath I have ever made. So then I'm going to put my last one right here. So this will be 9 that I use in the center. I probably could squeeze a 10th one in there. Since I do have a half that goes with this one, I might just do that. So, just making sure my zip tie head is going the right direction. I've already trimmed off the edge. And then that way I don't have a half a piece laying around. And I can't even just cut this one out and move it a little bit so I can fit another one in there. Let me do that. Clip it off to the side here. But I haven't been able to like find the holes, so I've just kind of will put it down, and then I've been flipping it over and putting it up like 2 spots or whatever away, 2 or 3 spots, and then I just push it up until I can find it. So move that one over, put that there. This is so big. Like I said, I don't think I've ever made anything. I'll have to take a picture on my front door because it's probably going to be bigger than my door. So let me try to move this out of the way. Let's do the fold one more time. So I had my finished edge down here by me, and we folded it up. So, you know, as you can see, this, don't pull on them, just trim those off, those little stragglers. And that's kind of why I wanted the finished edge on top. Hold with the left, and we're going to scrunch it up with the right. Then when I get down here, I kind of want to help make it go under. So then that was our fold. I'm going to clip it. And then I have been cutting off this excess before I put it on the wreath. So yeah, that can go right in there. We'll squeeze it in right about there. Make sure I got my zip tie going the right way. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna push it down. It actually was going through that petal. I don't want to go through that petal. And then I'm just flipping it over and putting it up like 2 spots. 2 spots over, and then we'll put it up and see, there it is right there. So then we'll get our petal. There. And the reason why I was laying the petals this way, because I wanted them to match the layer in the bottom, but you don't see as much of the brown when I lay them like that. I want all those ones, so I want all the petals on top of the other ones. But that is the wreath. What it looks like. And now we're going to work on a center. So I have some already made up, but I wanted to show you what we're going to be doing. So I cut my piece of felt. I cut it about 20 inches long, give or take, inch 2. And then I cut it 3 inches wide. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be folding it in half, and we're going to glue the bottom and the top together. We're going to glue it closed. So you just want, you just want to, let me put more glue down. So you just want to match up your ends. Use your rubber fingers if you need them, your tips for your fingers so you don't burn yourself with the hot glue. But basically I have shadows, so it's hard to tell where the where it is meeting, and I had to put a new glue stick in. So just glue that piece all the way down. I was just trying to get a little more glue on the ends than anywhere else, just because I want it to be able to. I thought I brought a pipe cleaner with me. I don't know where that is at. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut. We're basically, like here, I just cut. You don't want to cut all the way down, so you're leaving at least a ½ inch. But we're just going to cut slots. So you're just going to start at the beginning, 1/4 inch, I'd say, ½ inch, I don't know what that is. And I just kind of go down and try to make them all similar in size. But again, I'm not cutting all the way down. So I'll finish this up and show you. Okay, I have my pipe cleaner. So what I'm going to do is I'm folding my pipe cleaner in half, and I'm going to stick it over this last slit. So in this last slit, I'm going to stick my pipe cleaner. And then what we do for the center, we glue and roll. So I want to make sure my pipe cleaner is in there good. This may be where you want your fingertips. Oop, like that, so the glue don't get you. Ouchie. I'm going to try to roll it as tight as I can. I'm going to have to put these on. I keep getting myself. Certain ones for certain. It's just hard sometimes when you're trying to do things with these on, but yeah, I'm burning myself. So, and I probably should go this way because I don't want the glue to go over top of the flower center. So basically all we are doing is gluing and rolling. And I measured, we need at least a 5-inch center to cover up all our mechanics for the wreath, the flower. You know, so if 3 of these, you know, don't fill it, then we just will keep making more. But you can see how it's gonna look. Like I said, we'll just keep sticking glue down and rolling. And try to keep this as, you know, level as possible. And with brown, it shows all your fuzzies and okay, so then when we're here at the end, and you can just brush and pick off your fuzzies. You know, you can, you know, open them up a little more. Must have glue. But that's what it's gonna look like. So then we're gonna start this next one. Trying to think of how I wanna roll it here, so that I only get the glue. I'm gonna glue here, and I'm just gonna try to roll it right next to it. I don't want to overlap it, maybe just a hair, but because otherwise it's gonna, you know, it shouldn't show. But we're just gonna keep rolling until we can get a 5-inch center. And maybe I'll just let it sit there for a little bit, hold it. I think I'm gonna have to do way more. Yes, I'm gonna probably have to do, you know, at least cut 2 or 3 more pieces, and I will let you know how much I do. Okay, this is what I have done with the center. I actually made it 8 inches in diameter because I was thinking, you know, with our flower being so big that I probably need to make a statement with the center. So this is what it looks like. All the little cuts, and here's the back. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna reinforce the back because I wanna make sure that my pipe cleaner is gonna hold that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put some felt pieces here between the pipe cleaner here, because I want to make sure that gets reinforced. I want to make sure that I'm just not going to yank it all out, you know, or whatever when somebody goes to pull it. And then I cut some bigger pieces that I think I'm going to just reinforce, you know, make it stay all together. I don't want to glue on my good mat. So I'll put some glue here on this piece. You know, you can be generous. I just want to make sure that it's going to stay together. Turn it this way, we'll glue up this piece. And if you work with hot glue, you know, you get all these little wispies. So just, you know, this way, you know, I'm hoping that this will help reinforce the back, so then like all the felt was together. So I think that is our center. I just keep picking the wispies off and getting the little dust felt and little, I'm going to shut off my glue gun. Okay, so here's the flower. Let's put the center in. So I'm just going to feed this pipe cleaner through all this. Here's what it's going to look like. Let's feed the pipe cleaner through. Just going to try to pick a spot, trying to fill around. Okay, I think that one came through. And now I'm going to kind of dig my finger in there. Try to make a hole for the pipe cleaner to go through. Yeah, I got both sides. So basically, that's what how you're gonna attach your center. And then let's try to even it up here. This flower's big. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna use the camera and hopefully try to. So basically, we were just trying to cover our mechanics, but like I said, since the flower were so big, I decided I was gonna make a large center. So that looks pretty good there. So twist it around, and then you can trim it off, you can feed it back in, and then if you want, you can cover the back. But that is our flower. Check that out. Doesn't even get in the whole screen. So I will take a good picture. It's actually dark now, so I will take a picture in the morning and show you guys what it looks like. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you.